Okay, so you were supposed to find the mean, the median, the mode, and the range looking at this graph. What is a good idea to do first? Yeah, write the numbers down, right? So what are the numbers on our graph?
1,
4.
5,
1.
4.
There you go. Now, what do you think a good idea to do is? Yeah, I would go ahead and put them in order, honestly, just so we can work with them easier. So then that would be 1, 4, 5, 6. Just making sure. Okay, so now we just need to find all of them. What do you want to do first? Range. Okay, how do we find the range?
-1.
High minus low, which would be?
6
6 minus 1, which is?
5.
5. Perfect. What do we do next?
Median.
Median. Median is the middle. Cross, 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 cross. 4. Now what?
Now we do the mean.
Mode. I would do the mode next.
4. It shows up the mode.
The mode appears most often, so then that would be the 4. And then finally, we will do the mean. How do we do the mean? Add all of the modes and then divide. So let's add 1 plus 4, 5 plus 4, 9 plus 5, 14 plus 6, 20, then divide by 5 things, which would be 4. So that's the first part of the question. Find the mean, the median, the mode, the range. Got it? All right. Now, there is a question down here that says, how many people didn't see that? Okay. It says to calculate the difference between the range and the median. What does this word difference mean? Subtract. So that means I got to find my range, which was? 5. The median was 4. And then 5 minus 4 is 1. That's all you had to do. Okay? Any questions? At the end of class, you do have an exit ticket. All of this stuff is on there. Please stop. Any questions? All right. So, on that note, you will be having dot plots, simile plots, histograms, shape and distribution, and skew. That means like outliers, gaps, symmetrical, skewed left, skewed right. Remember all that? All of that is going to be on your exit ticket, which is at the end of class. Okay? Is there anything you need me to review really quick? Just thinking in general right now. Yes, ma'am. About skew. I love it. Okay? So remember, I told you guys, when you see a graph, you should draw this thingy. Remember? You should draw that. So if it looks like that, what would you say? It's symmetrical. It's mostly symmetrical, right? But it might be like that. It's where the tail is. The tail is on the right, so this would be skewed right. If it looked like this, the tail is on the left, so it would be skewed left, okay? Good question. Anything else? What about them? It's like a bar graph, but they're touching, and there's the intervals on the bottom. It's really just being able to read it. It's the same. Same as what we just did. That's why I did this. It's the exact same. Yeah. Okay, what about it? How to do what? So if this was the data that I had, remember that our stems would be 8 and 9 because everything's in the 80s and 90s, right? So then what would go on the 8s? 85 and 87. What about the 9s?
91.
Good. You saw saw that I needed to flip those because it's supposed to go in order, remember? And so, huh? Right, least to greatest. And then you could, if it asked you for like the median from here, you could scratch 85, 93, 87, 91, and then your median would be not 1, but 91. Okay? Okay, I think you guys got it. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on. Today, let's take a look at the board over here.
In this video, we will be looking at the 5-number summary, hotspots, and outliers. The 5-number summary gives us a way to describe a distribution using only 5 numbers. These 5 numbers include the minimum, first quartile, median, third quartile, and the maximum. So if we took a sample and measured some random quantitative variable, we should order these values from smallest to largest and use the 5-number summary to describe the distribution. The minimum is the smallest value in the data set, and the maximum is the largest value in the data set. The median is the middle data value. It is a point at which 50% of the data value and 50% is the value of the median of the bottom half is on the first quartile. It is a position where 25% of the data values are below it, and 75% of the data values are larger than it. The first quartile is essentially the median of the median. The same thing can be said for the third quartile. The median of the top half gives us the third quartile, and it is a position where 75% of the data values are below it, and 25% of the data values are larger than it. The 5-number summary also gives us a way to divide the data into 4 equal quarters. So let's determine the 5-number summary for the following data set. We'll start with the median. To find the median, you can look for it visually, and you should find that the median is equal to 33. You can also use the formula to find the position of the median, and we find that it is in hotspots and outlier.
Okay, so first of all, if looking at the 5-number summary that they were just talking about, did we already know some of those words? Yeah, what words did we already know? Median. What else do we already know? What else have we already learned in this class? The one that was over here and the one that was way over here. The minimum and the maximum. I've got some people, and what we want to do is create a 5-number summary about these people's height. What would we need to do first? Well, I already have them. They're listed right there. Put them in order, right? Who is our shortest person up here?
Messi.
Messi. And then who?
Jojo.
Jojo. And then who? Taylor Swift. And Zendaya. Now, those are all 3 were the same. They were all 70s. Okay. And then who? Who's that? Jimmy Fallon. And who's that? Stephen Curry. Okay. So I already have it. This is what you guys just said. So now, who would be the median of the group? Who's got the median height? Yeah, the way we did it, she's in the middle, right? So she would be our, because we've got 3 that are down here and 3 up here. Would it really matter which person? No, it just happened to be that she's in the middle, right? Okay, who's the tallest? Stephen Curry. Who's the shortest? Messi. Okay, who is in the top half with their height? All of these are in the top half, right? Who's in the bottom half? These guys, right? Now, what we want to know is who are in the median of the bottom and the median of the top. Who's in the median of the bottom? Jojo. She would be called Q1. She is the median of the median. Median of the bottom. Okay? Who's the median of the top? Jimmy Fallon. Whoops, sorry, Stephen. Didn't mean to move you. There we go. And he would be called what?
Quartile 2.
Quartile 3. Where did I get 3 from? Well, if you'll remember, each chunk is what percent?
25.
25%. So here we're at 25%. To get to Zendaya, we're actually at 50%. They didn't call it Q2. What did they call it in the video? The median. Then we've got the next 2 people, which gets us to Q3, and then Stefan's over here for Q4.
That makes sense.
Okay? All right, so now what we want to do is actually do it on our paper. So guys, you've got the notes in front of you. Please remember that if I'm writing, you're writing, okay? Quartiles are values that divide data into 4 equal parts. The prefix qua. Where have you seen that prefix before? Quarters, like in money, there's 4 quarters of a dollar. What else?
Quadruple.
Oh, quadruplets, that's people that have had 4 kids, right? What about a quartet? You sing in a quartet, there's 4 people. Anything else? Quarts? 4 quarts in a gallon? Quadrilaterals have 4 sides. You see that prefix qua, that means 4, okay? All right, the first quartile, Q1 for short, is called the lower quartile. The lower of the quartiles. It's the first 25%. Okay? 25%. We know, you at least know your 25, 50, 75, 100%, right? If I told you you only got half of the things right on the quiz, what was your grade? 50. It's really 50%, right? Okay? Third quartile, or Q3, is the upper quartile. It's the median of the upper half of the data. It's our third 25%. Okay? If I'm writing, you're writing. Now, interquartile range, the video did not talk about that. But what it is, we call it IQR for short, interquartile range. It's the difference between Q1 and Q3. What does difference mean? When we subtract. That's all you're going to do. Well, because we already know the range, right? The range is from high to low. So the interquartile range means the 2 little quartiles in the center, find their range. That's all it means, okay? So range, we learned from last week, is the difference between the maximum and the, give me a better word, minimum. Okay. So this is just a visual strip, because all we've done is we did it with the people before. So now what I want us to do is just kind of write down these things, where these parts are on this strip, okay? What word would go right here? What is this?
Minimum.
That's right. This would be the minimum. Well, then what would this be?
The maximum.
This would be the maximum. Is everybody good so far? Okay. What would go in the middle right here? That's the median.
Or Q2.
Or Q2. Most often you don't hear it called Q2. It's so special it gets its own name, the median. Okay? And then we said the middle of the lower half was called Q1, and the middle of the upper,
Quartile
Q3. Okay? And then each chunk is worth how much? 25%. Because 4 25s
Equal 100.
equal 100. Very good. Okay? Look.
This, for the Q3 and how to get it, do you just go and then add median with the number?
Nope. We're going to do it. Just give me a second. We're going to do it together. Okay? Because, yes, it's good to talk about these words, but until you actually do it, honestly, It's hard, okay? So here we go. We have an example. Determine the measures of spread of the data set. What do we need to do with these numbers first?
Put them in order.
Put them in order. That's exactly right. So what do we have?
3.
We have a 1 and a 1. Now what? 2 3s. Now what? 2 4s. Now what? 2 6s. 1 7. And then 2 8s. What did I just count?
Make sure you have the.
That's right, to make sure I didn't forget something, okay? Now, just for our purposes here, I'm going to change marker color because this will be easier for you to see. Now that they're in order, I need to find the median, correct? And then how do we do that?
Go and cross.
Cross, low, high, right? We know how to do that. Go ahead and find the median. Okay, and so there's our median, or Q2. You know what, I forgot, I got in such a hurry, I forgot to do the range. How do we do the range again?
8 minus 1.
8 minus 1, 8 minus 1, so that's 7. Now, I've already used this number for 4 for Q2. So I cannot use it if it's already circled, okay? When we find the median, we're talking about the lower half of that data and the upper half of the data. We are no longer going to use the number 4 that's in the middle because it's the median. You see what I'm saying? You can't include it. Okay? So let's find the median of the bottom.
3.
Ready? Cross, 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 cross. There we go. So Q1 is 3. Okay? Now we're going to do Q3. Cross, 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 7. So Q3 is 7. What if there had been 2 numbers in the middle instead of 1? That's right. The exact same thing. You don't subtract them. You would have to do the exact same thing that you would do for any median, which is add them and then you do not subtract. Add them and then divide by 2 because you're trying to get the average of those 2 things. Y'all are making me nervous about subtracting. Now, IQR, that was our new one, says we're going to find the difference between Q3 and Q1. Well, Q3 was 7, Q1 was 3, 7 minus 3 is 4. And that's all you do to get the 5 number summary. Got it?
Yes.
Okay, you want to try one on your own?
Yes.
All right, so down here, try with a partner. If you're at home, pause the video. We'll go over this. Okay, so first I put them in order. And then I went to find the median. When I cross, 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 I was left with 2 in the middle. So if we remember, we have to come over here and add 11 plus 14, which is 25, and then divide by 2 to get the median of 12.5. Yes? Okay. Now, to do Q1, I'm going to come to the lower half of the data. So that includes 6, 8, anything else? And 11. It is not crossed out, and it's also not circled, because I had to use it to find the median. So now that that's the lower half of the data, what is the middle number here? You see that Q1 is 8. And now when you do the upper half of the data, that's right, it's 17 is Q3. And then the IQR is just 17 minus 8, which is 9. Okay, questions on that one? Did you, Emily, did you have a question? I answered it. Okay. All right. So now what I want you to do is turn your paper over on the back. We're actually going to skip the first one. We're going to skip the one about the years and move down to the second one. So on your paper, you see the word homework. It's right above where it says homework. That's the one I want you to do. Okay? One more before we take our quiz. Okay? And then 23 minus 14.5. Ooh, when we subtract decimals, what do we have to make sure we do? Decimal 0, and make sure they're lined up. Alright? Did y'all get 8.5? For the IQR? Uh-oh, I lost you somewhere. Where did I lose you? Q1? Yeah? Okay, so Q1, because the median was here, remember we cannot use it. So that means I have to find the median of the lower half. So that means top, bottom. Then we have to add and divide by 2, which is where I got 14.5. Okay? The upper half, top and bottom, and then look, I had to add and divide by 2 to get that 23. Okay? And then the IQR is to subtract Q3 and Q1. Okay? Okay. The bottom of that page is your homework. You see where it says homework? That's your homework for tonight, okay? And also don't forget to do your test review. Okay? Now it's time to do our exit ticket. Please clear your desk.